project, my interest really was to see how some of the strategies instructors use in face-to-face environments will translate to these really large-scale MOOC environments where engagement typically tends to be lower. So if you think about a face-to-face class, a lot of instructors will begin by asking learners to do ice-breaking activities or get to know each other. And I wanted to see whether these identity sharing strategies would translate well to the online environments. The other kind of sharing learners often do in a course is ideas about the course itself. And so I also wanted to see if we nudge learners in online formats to share something about the ideas of the course, would it then lead to higher engagement subsequently with the videos or the assessments of the course? And so we partnered with Coursera for this study. In fact, I was at their Mountain View office back in 2018, pointing to Illinois. And we also were able to actually write a paper and publish this in Journal of Marketing Research for those of you who are interested to read more details. And it was featured in some of the EdSearch op-eds as well as Enrollment Growth University podcast, where I broadly talk about nudges in online learning environments. So what did we do in this specific study? Well, one of the best ways to get to causal inference is to randomize different learners into either sharing ideas or sharing identity, which is our key treatment of interest. So within the very first week when learners are enrolled into a course, and that's really when all the drop-off happens in MOOCs, what we did is we showed them a prompt based on randomly encouraging them either to share their ideas about the course. So in the first prompt, in this marketing course, we had a 30-second video showing learners, just a quick question from the instructor saying, hey, can you share something about digital marketing and how it's impacting firms and consumers? Below this 30-second video was a threaded discussion forum where learners could post their answers. We created the exact same course, so everything was exactly the same, but now learners were instead exposed to a 30-second prompt which asked them to share their identity with other learners rather than ideas of the course. And we also had a third condition, which was a control condition with no such prompt. So think of this as the exact same course. The only difference between the three groups of learners was that they either got the idea sharing prompt, the identity sharing, or no prompt. And to give you a sense of the volume, this course had about 2,000 learners in this experiment. But overall, by now, this course has about 500,000 learners, so almost 500,000 learners. It's one of the Coursera's more popular courses. So what did we find? Contrary to what I had expected, we found that if you compare idea, identity, and control conditions, both for number of videos viewed by the learners and number of assessments that they complete, we found a 30% higher outcome for those in the idea sharing condition. And identity sharing was exactly the same as control. No significant differences between the two. So contrary to what you would think, that maybe identity sharing gets people to engage much more in these environments, we actually saw that there was a clear, distinct idea advantage. And this made me curious, so I also did a lot of text analysis to try to see what are the reasons why idea sharing works. And one of the key differences was, as you can see from these examples, in idea sharing, learners tend to post longer content. They tend to articulate more complex ideas and get hooked to the course content right from the beginning, whereas in identity sharing, it tends to be more surface level, who they are, where they're from type of sharing. Okay, so this is all great. Idea works, right? Idea sharing works. But the barriers to idea sharing are huge. Think about non-native English speakers. Think about all these diverse audiences who may not be wanting to write elaborate idea sharing posts. So what I wanted to do next, with the advent of ChatGPT, I wanted to see if we encourage learners to use AI to generate these types of content, would it then get them to post more, but at the same time, how would it impact engagement from other learners? For instance, the interacting score, the listening scores. And so what I do in this study, with the help of our teams, is in an online degree program with about 350 learners, I give them the same prompt each week, but either nudge them to use generative AI, or in the non-AI prompt, simply tell them, hey, can you come up with a response based on your own knowledge, maybe talk to friends and family, but I say nothing about AI. So it's another randomized encouragement experiment where they either are asked to use AI or not. And the results that I found are pretty interesting. First of all, just in terms of content creation, those in the AI condition are not more likely to post, but when they do post, the post length or the number of words that they use in each post is actually way higher. It's almost 30% higher compared to those in the non-AI condition. And this is expected because ChatGPT reduces barriers to writing, so they can make longer posts and elaborate more. However, what's interesting is when I look at engagement metrics, how much are other people engaging with these posts? In the AI conditions, significantly lower engagement is going on with these posts compared to the non-AI condition. And what do I mean by that? Well, in terms of number of views, number of reactions, how long are the comments that learners post on the AI posts, they're all significantly lower compared to the more human posts. And so again, I went more deeper into the text analysis, looking at thousands of comments and posts they had made. And when I look at the key differences between the kind of content in AI and non-AI condition that learners are posting, some of the key differences that stand out are the human posts tend to be much more reader-friendly, much more relatable, much more personal, and relative to the AI post, they're also obviously a little bit shorter. So those are all the reasons why the non-AI posts may be garnering much more engagement. And again, all of these experiments are done with the support of YellowDig, integrated with Canvas. So I'm really excited to be able to isolate the effect of AI on education, which is an ongoing topic for us. And I'm going to hand it over to Vishal. Vishal and I just received the Provost Grant for Teaching and Advancement to continue some of our ChatGPT experiments also.